Innovative.
Innovative comedy. Yeah. Red, yeah.
Red's money.
Nigga ducked. That nigga ducked.
I'm Cool Ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet, and today I'm here with the homies, and we want to talk some shit and laugh.
Hey.
That being said, make sure you tap into our website, www.theinnovativeculture.com. Follow us on Instagram at innovative.culture and innovative.comedy, and subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/innovativeculture. Who I got in the building with me today?
What's good? It's Tony Grams. We back. Follow me on IG at Tony Grams, TONY_GRAMS. And we back. It's been like, what, a month? Like 3 weeks? Since we took a little hiatus.
Nah, it's been like a little more than a month.
Have it?
Yeah.
Feel like
It's been like 5 weeks, I think.
I
since
think I
we
looked at the
recorded
last post, the last shows with cable. That was August 11th.
That's when I put it out. wasn't
No,
it?
that's when we was here. When I when I took a picture.
Oh,
was
okay.
there. So it's been like a solid it's like a month and 3 days or some shit. Same thing, close to 5 more. Round up.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I thought it was 5 weeks too. I thought it was like longer. Than it was like I looked it up before I came, and it was like August 11th was the last time we were here doing the show. But it's been a minute. We back, getting it cracking. There's some shit going. Just gonna talk today. Talk some shit.
Yeah, niggas is talking
Niggas
shit.
is talking shit. Like, so we up in here. See my nigga Foolish D up in the live. That's right. Yeah. So we chilling and shit. It's been a wild month, 3 weeks. A lot of news, weird shit, and just
What's going on there? What's up with the news? What's
Man.
happening in the world? That
In the freak
kind
show.
of want to touch on.
Said, well, so far we got all right, what we gonna talk about? Like, we can go Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, that's where you want to start.
Yeah, I feel we'll start with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
With that
so, for everybody that has been keeping up with football, there was just an injury recently.
that shit. I just feel, dude is like, I don't know. I felt like that was his wake up call. How they always say like it's certain people get wake up calls, and that was not even his, but just people that what's the word? I don't know. Had this like they have this thing like, oh, you can do it. I don't want to say just maybe it's a racial thing, but I feel like dude looked out of shape. He didn't look in football shape at all. He looked like he been doing shrooms and kicking it. Like, for real, it's like he been eating Hershey bars and posted up making s'mores and shit around a campfire at Crystal Lake and smoking pot. He ain't even smoking weed. He like he was smoking pot.
So you do not agree with him getting the role or the check or
it just didn't make sense, and that was their wake up call. You bought like a dude that was on that almost looks like a senior citizen that was like that wasn't even in like football shape. But he sold out the stadium.
They looking out at the experience,
and he's a winner.
Yeah,
he's a champion, and they ain't gonna take that away. But that's it. Almost proves my point. That's bring him in as an advisor, an offensive coach, or something. Don't bring this dude in until like he's gonna rebuild your franchise, and he hasn't won in what how was the last time they won the Super Bowl? Like 5 years ago, I think. If that, like, I don't even remember. Like, I'm not. Don't. Either way, the nigga's old, and it's just to bank your whole franchise on a dude, and he didn't even make it a whole set of downs.
When did he come into the league?
I can't even remember. Like, I want to say, I don't know. I could Google it, but he came in a long time ago. He had a good run, got his rings, and did what he did. But it's like, it's over. It's been over. That's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, is it over? Yes, it's over now. It's been over before he even got to the Jets. And it's like, y'all banked on this dude, and the fact that he could actually sell out a stadium and an arena, like, makes even less sense but it proves my point of like people like if that was Michael Vick coming back to play, you think that arena would have been, maybe he would have sold out. If that was Kaepernick and those dudes, I feel would have put up they wouldn't have got injured in 4 downs. But I felt like if somebody like Tony Romo was like, I'll put a jersey on, they'd suit him up right now and let him play for the Jets.
because he gonna sell out.
But he and with no Super Bowl appearance in 11, 12 years, no playoff win.
But still, they look at him as like, you know, a known quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody who you're gonna remember.
But the dudes that made Super Bowl appearances in more recent times, younger, stronger, that are better, won't get that opportunity for some reason.
And I know you have this thing about the whole ringless losers.
And no, but I felt like if you okay, like Kaepernick, people talk shit, but he came to a team that was garbage for 7 years, and took him to the Super Bowl with the coach that designed shit for him. So and that was why they had a good relationship. But he proved his worth for 2 years at least. Took him to a championship, to the Super Bowl, took him back to a championship, and then the next year kind of like whatever, and then just kind of fell off and got political. So, but that's still, in that 1 year he did more than Romo did in 12. In those 2 years he did more than Romo did in 12.
I can understand what you're saying.
You see, so it's not about him being a ringless loser. If we're comparing the losers, he's a bigger winner than you are, than they are. It is levels to this shit. I'm just trolling when I call niggas that, but it is like, bro, y'all gonna say Kaepernick ain't shit, but this dude took a team that wasn't shit to the Super Bowl and had a good year the next year, and the next year it was like whatever, and then it was the Romo can't say that. Phillip Rivers can't say that. Like, it's a lot of dudes, and Aaron Rodgers did it, but that's in his past, and so for them to try to bank, it just proves the point of, like, these dudes can be, it's the same way, like, the same entitlement and, like, thinking like a dude like Conor McGregor can beat Floyd Mayweather. And people really believe that shit. People really, that he's a fighter, but that's totally different, bro. That's not the same, like, at all. People really banked on Conor McGregor. Like, they really thought he had a chance. It's the great white hype in real life. And I remember hearing that all the time as a kid. I remember seeing that movie, The Great White Hope, and then it was The Great White Hype. But
I think that, like, in certain situations, if you're comparing people, it got to be in the same field. You feel me?
Yeah.
UFC and organized boxing is a whole different thing. You know, it's two different.
They just looking at it as combat sports.
Yeah, but you're not.
It's not. We're not
Conor
throwing
McGregor
kicks.
is throwing kicks.
Ain't
grapples,
no smothering.
You know, all of that.
Ain't no, you can smother and do all that in boxing in close quarters, but you ain't no headlocks and just pushing motherfuckers up against the gate and with your forearm and socking them in the ribs and shit.
So I feel like had it been a
shit.
UFC fight, I probably, you really got to look at McGregor as a favorite, you know?
Yeah, in a UFC fight.
In a UFC fight. But when you stepping into somebody else's sport,
a whole different genre.
You know, like that, I don't really see how that works. But you got, like, the brothers like Jake Paul, you know, they doing shit like that, the boxing and the
I mean, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. It's not even that they're great boxers or good boxers. They know to fight guys that people know that were killers at a point in their career, most of their career, if not their entire career, but fell off right before they. Tyron Woodley, killer his entire career till like maybe the last 2 years, and he was like, I don't want to call him trash, but I don't know what happened, if he just stopped doing steroids but it just was like a drastic drop of like how his fights used to be. And then Saint Silva broke his leg, never the same. Nate Robinson, not a fucking fighter at all. Ben Askren never threw a punch in his career.
Everybody remember the Nate Robinson
everybody.
situation.
Like, ass face down, ass up. That's the way he likes to punch. Like, but the fucking Ben Askren, fighter, known killer, but not known, undefeated his entire career, but not for throwing punches. He was a wrestler. No one could beat this dude wrestling. So it's like he's smart enough to be like, for the casual person that doesn't know, this guy's like, that damn fly. I would say just open the door and let him go out. And open his little, just to get him out, because this nigga is bold. But like, he's enough to it's enough to the casual fan or whatever going to be like, oh, I knew Nate Robinson as a basketball player that dunked on Shaq. That's their outlook is a person with that power. He could throw a punch, and it's like that's
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, you remember when he dunked when Shaq?
I remember that, but I'm saying
there's people that think like that. I've been in boxing groups, and the shit people say, the shit people believe.
Bro, what I remember Nate Robinson for now is not basketball. It's like that image of him being knocked out on the weed bag.
Mm-hmm.
They had
I remember more on the Snickers when they had them on the Snicker pack.
Well, it was a weed bag, but it was like Nate Robinson, but it was like a candy bar coming out instead of his.
Oh, that must have been the same. Okay,
well, yeah.
Because I remember him I just remember a candy bar rapper. What I remember, and him being like the Snickers.
Yeah,
that's cold. But again, not a fighter. That's the reason you supposed to knock a guy. But all these dudes, they picked a fight. It just proves he's doing the Great White Hope shit, and he's doing it the smart way of look at me, I'm the greatest. I beat all these ex-world champions that literally haven't been great fighters in 5+ years or just under that. And I'm beating guys that never threw a punch in their career. Like Ben Askren was known for not throwing a punch in any of his fights, but being undefeated. Choking niggas out, back slamming niggas, suplexing, wrestling, just a fucking beast, but he wasn't no ground and pound. It was just I'm choking you out or tapping you out, and that's what he did for until he did it all over till UFC had to bring him to UFC because the fans were like, why isn't this dude in UFC? But Dana wants the electric and the people throwing, so a guy that just wrestles wouldn't get that shot, and so that's when he finally had to, and he did good until he got knocked out by Jorge, and he became a meme, but it's just that's what I'm saying. It's fun, I guess. I don't know, for them to watch and just that expectation of this is what I don't know, but that whole Aaron Rodgers shit just spinning off of that. I felt like that's part of the whole thing of y'all niggas is clueless, and that dude didn't have a chance. That nigga should have been in the mountains with his horses, feeding them, like walking the prairie somewhere, instead of like suiting up, like listening to Pound Town in the locker room before he came out.
Do you think that's what they listened to?
I'm sure they did.
That's their warm-up ritual?
Yeah, they didn't have her at the games and shit, and like the players be like all on her. Not even, I guess I'm sure they think she bad, but they be saying they listen to it in the locker room. Like they said, a few players said that, so they up there Pound Town. It's like these niggas is fugazi. There's a lot of fugaziness out here. Mm-hmm. You ain't see that picture? It's her, I think, with one of the Eagles, and she's like on the field with I think it was an Eagles jersey. It's her like when he fully suited up. She wearing his jersey and he invited her to the game. The players, yeah. It's like I said, sometimes we could talk about that. Like, are these people industry plants? Like Ice Spice won the VMA last night, or was it this week or Monday? Whenever the VMAs was, I haven't watched the VMA. Like I sat and watched the whole award show, wanting to. I've seen it like at work at the bar and it'd be on, but I haven't sat and watched the whole VMAs. Like I want to say, in about over it's been I want to say 20 years. I think the last one I remember watching is when. I can remember. I just remember Obi Trice and Dre and all them at Diss Ja Rule. When Dre came out to Diss Ja Rule on that song with Eminem, and I remember listening. Me and the homie played it on his laptop while we were watching the VMAs, and I was like, everybody was like, oh shit, nigga, Dre dissing this nigga, it's over. And that's how long it's been since I sat and watched the VMAs. Yeah, because they were still playing music videos. MTV Jam still came on. Like now it's just some bullshit. So, but like Ice Spice won, and a lot of people talking shit. I'm not a fan or a hater. I just think she's like the typical whatever person that they got out now. She ain't. It's like.
What do you mean when you say they got out now? Can you elaborate on that?
Like
what does that
the
mean? Industry
churns out these droids, these plants or whatever. Shout out to the plant plug. But these plants that just pop up out of nowhere. But have like all the features you ain't had. Either their sound was totally different and trash, and they were fully invested in that sound. That's a plant to me. You were something else 2 years ago. It's Pound Town. Like I didn't even know she was already. I thought she was like a Trinidad James. Like this was her first go around. That's why she was a whole rapper in like 2019. Had a whole different look and looked low key like more put together. Like somebody was investing money back then. And so she's not like, I feel 2 Chainz is the only dude that did it publicly. Changed his name, changed the way he rapped, dumbed himself down, and just blew the fuck up. And people accepted that because we knew Titty Boy, and Titty Boy was like one of the hardest niggas in DTP.
But he said that Titty Boy wasn't commercial.
And he was smart enough to dumb himself
change
down.
His name and change.
He literally
he had
dumbed
a
himself
reason
down.
for that.
He started rapping slower. He literally started. He wasn't like no speed, not mobster nigga, but he started rapping way slower and kind of more elementary, rhyming just simple rhyme patterns. And then he became at the time the biggest fucking rapper. He's a household name now. Like that nigga got shows, YouTube, True. Like, this nigga do commercials. How he's a household worldwide name. For years, this nigga was a dope ass artist, but once he dumbed himself down, that he was accepted by the world. And he's the only person I give credit to because he didn't dumb himself down and become stupid. He just slowed it down and be like, y'all niggas ain't keeping up, so let me change it. But it was still dope to dumb down. It was like he was saying dope shit, but he was just slower. And he's the only nigga that kind of like publicly did. I was like, this can crack that motherfucker. Can you crack that door TV for me? This one right here, so he can blow out or something. And this nigga is, it's yeah. Just open that door
so he could blow out.
Yeah, so he could blow out. Full amenities, full blown out amenities. Yeah, it's like, open that motherfucker.
What if another one come in?
Like 6, just blowing a bunch of little ones and two mosquitoes. But I just feel a lot of these plants, there's people that secretly do that, like Iggy Azalea, like these people.
Oh, there it goes.
It went out. Close it. There's people that secretly do that shit. They just switch up who they were, just like Iggy Azalea was like a Australian Britney Spears, and then came here and turned to the brat.
Yeah, but that's more like, how do you know that these people haven't been over here so long, right? And like they just start adapting to the shit that
You don't start talking like you from Atlanta.
You can if you go and you start spending time in Atlanta, and all these motherfuckers is like, these is your friends now.
She was taking. I was gonna say she was getting dick down. She took enough black dick to become.
You still
black.
said it.
Yeah, I wasn't, but I said fuck it. I went against my own grain. But I feel there's certain people like that it's just the bullshit of. I don't know, like, that's what I feel. And it's not just because the white artists, but it's people like Ice Spice, or because people call Billie Eilish a plant, and a lot of different people like that are just these successful out of nowhere. But I think a lot of it comes from, I don't know none of your music. How the fuck, who are you?
But
no
look,
one I know knows your music.
What I've been noticing, right, is the more you spend like in entertainment, right, you start seeing different people within our age range, right? But like they parents was like in an oldies group back in the day or some shit.
Currency.
Like you already connected
There's a lot
to
of niggas
the
like
industry in a certain
That's
way,
true.
to where I don't know, you kind of got like a head start per se, you know? Like,
Yeah. You've been around. You already been here.
yeah.
Niggas know. I think that was foolish. Yeah, I could tell by the braids. I saw the silhouette of the braids walk by the door.
Did he come inside?
Yeah, he came in. I seen the silhouette of the braids. He said, "Watch out there now." Shout out J. Anthony Brown in the J spot. Yeah, just like talking about different shit. So then, what else are we gonna? What are we gonna talk about? Well, I mean, I can finish on the Ice Spice. I just feel one that is an undeserving award, but what is an award? Hey, what up? How you doing? That's right, Mr. D. Pause. That's right.
He called the nigga Mr. D.
Yeah, pause. Like we chilling. I just look at that, like I feel like the awards, certain awards of people getting shit, but then like I said, what is the award worth? Like it is the MTV award, it's a VMA, so why are you gonna be mad that they gave it to her and niggas don't even watch MTV? Or the award, they don't even play videos, so how did she win the best music video award? And all her videos is just her bending over, slow twerking. Like,
Cause that's what all the motherfuckers that's watching her videos are like. Why is they watching her videos?
That's good. She gonna twerk and bend it over and wobble, slow, and she in her mood. And she in her. I felt like she just like did the female Pop Smoke shit, and that's like her. That's her kind of lane. And it's good. I don't listen to it, so I can't hate on it. But it's just people. I'm just going for what I've seen.
It's a fan base out there for it.
And the
so.
trending topic of people going like, "What the fuck? How did this person win Best New Artist or Best New Video?" And then a lot of people are mad over Glorilla. And I will say that I do kind of know of more Glorilla songs than Ice Spice and
But
Sexy
that's you
Red.
though.
And a lot of people
It
know.
might be other people.
But I mean, even her
you
songs,
know?
her songs play more. That's what I'm saying. I hear her songs play in the bar. The people play them on the jukebox. The TV plays them.
But when it goes to
It's
the people who make the decisions, who's the
the
ones,
button pushers.
the ones who's making the votes on these
The
awards
cheesecake,
and shit.
the cookie getter, the sugar cookie.
The
getters.
sugar cookie gets us. The sugar cookie gets us.
That's real shit. Like, so I don't know. Like, you see those people, and I don't know. I just see it's the same process of the industry. And so you could be mad she got an award, but it's like, what is that award? What is that award worth? It's the same thing with the Grammys. People have been saying that Grammys been
Yeah,
trash.
you saying her award is worthless?
Yeah, low key, MTV itself is worthless. Like, you got a ridiculousness award.
Man.
You got a
Hey,
ridiculousness.
what if them niggas
Like,
gave us a spot? Bro?
Oh, I mean,
Just
they
fuck
gonna
that
still
up.
give
I
us
gotta cut this out.
We gotta censor it so MTV can't watch it. They the one viewer that can't see it. It is that to me. It just don't make sense of that doesn't make sense in any way of a platform that was known for music that has nothing to do with music anymore, giving awards to people that don't even do good music.
That's why they just MTV. It's like the same. It's like the KFC theory. You know how like they was Kentucky Fried Chicken,
So
but
what
now
is
they
the
just
C for?
they just KFC now.
What is this?
But
still
it's
chicken?
just the abbreviation because now they don't have to specify that
Ken-
it's chicken.
Kentucky freshly cooked. Like, is it Kentucky freshly cooked? What are y'all freshly cooking? That ain't chicken no more. Like, I had a joke about that. Was one of my first jokes when I started doing comedy. It was like they had started serving the vegan tenders at KFC, and I had a joke, and I was like, "So KFC serving vegan tenders now?" I was like, "Funny thing is, KFC's been serving meatless chicken for the last 30 years." So it's like, and it was just like one of them quick little like thinking I'm funny.
He said
like,
meatless chicken like it's just the skin.
It's just like that ain't
It's
even.
just the skin.
We don't know what it is. It's just in the form of chicken and it's deep fried. They battered it and dropped it, and got it in a box with some soft biscuits. Back then, you had a parfait. You remember the parfaits?
Yeah.
The KFC niggas don't remember the KFC counter. It had the parfait and the cupcakes and brownies, and I ain't got none of that shit. No.
Only certain ones had that shit though. All of them didn't have it.
Yeah, I was at the Crenshaw and Pico. one.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
like a
the-
bigger location.
That was the one. That shit was like, it's like some type of like papuseria or something now.
Pupoosery.
Yeah, they didn't switch it up. But let me see. Yeah, we gonna talk about the brick lady. About the lady that got hit with the brick.
Let's talk about the lady.
Well,
who got hit
so
with the brick.
it's been so many developments. One from it happening, why it happened, the reaction of it happening, then more coming out, then more coming out now. It's come out that she's kind of a scammer, and she does it like constantly, and she gets like saline injected into her face, supposedly, allegedly. That
What did I do?
like, well, it's for beauty shit. Like chicks get saline,
Like Botox?
somewhat, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an expert on saline, but I think it's like breast implants.
Saline is like
It's
water
breast,
though, ain't
but
it? Like-
breast implants, I think, are made of saline, or they used to be.
Bro, I don't have breast implants, so I couldn't tell.
I got
you.
mine removed. Like mine were removed in '92. Like the fuck? This nigga used to do hot tropics competitions. You ever you ever the hot tropics and Hooters and hot tropics was like the shit. If you was like a 14-year-old boy, you knew all about hot tropics. Like those was the ones. But I think the saline is what the old implants were made of. But some women, I
The
guess,
old
still,
implant.
yeah, certain women still get. I guess if you get a little of it, it goes away. But like Botox, whatever. So there's a video that came out of her in 2020, and same thing. She got the knot like under the eye, and she's.
Oh, she put too much.
No, it was so that's what so one of the dudes that do deep dives on YouTube, and he exposed her, and then he had supposedly one of the nurses that actually did the procedure on her. Bag was like, this is just a botched procedure, and it was like too much, and it was just like kind of a reaction. That's why the video, when the whole video came out, she's already in the club earlier that night with the ski mask on because her shit was already swollen. And then when she went out, and then just whatever happened in the parking lot, then she'd say, "Oh, I got hit in the face," and And it's still like there's no police report. There's like you just got 46 G's off of fucking GoFundMe though.
Yeah.
Like she cashed out, and that's the same shit she did in 2020. She did a video, so it got the same thing. Oh, my ex punched me in the face because I was leaving him, and that's the same thing to the video.
So
no,
who hit her with the brick though?
no, I felt like nobody hit her with a brick. I think she only
She
got
just
hit.
said she got hit.
Yeah,
with a
because
brick.
even in the video she said it was a rock. Then she said it was a brick. But then maybe
well, a big ass rock. It
unless
could
she
be
just got
considered a brick.
slapped. Maybe
you
she
know?
just got slapped after she hit the person and they hit her back. That's what everybody was saying. She was hitting people and talking crazy to people, and then dude hit her back. So, but it's just the fact you can scam people and
Why do people think they could just talk crazy? You could scam them and then talk
because
crazy
she's doing
to
it to
them?
black people. That's
Yeah,
why.
but it's like
If she was
them-
doing that to anybody else, she wouldn't be no go. If she did that to any other community, Jewish people, gay people, and she's gay, part of the LGBT, but the HDTV, LG, whatever it is, but yeah, like I gotta get on to get canceled first, but that. I feel like if she just said you can always say shit about black people and it's like okay, even if it's not true. And that's a lot of people are saying that shit should be hate speech, like how she should be like that shit should be stripped, or she should get her platforms taken, whatever she can't get on TikTok and whatever the fuck. And that is kind of weird that she is just you can say shit and get almost $50,000 off of a lie. And still have it up, still making money, and people not knowing because everybody don't see the videos on YouTube that we see. Some people just see, oh, this shit, oh, this woman was hit, and that's the only video they're gonna see for the next week.
Because that's the one that went viral.
Yeah,
That's the one. It's like they don't see the other shit that led up to it unless they're like really that. I don't know. I want to say nosy, but they may be investigate. What? How do you say?
invested in it,
Investigative,
Investi-
like they're investigating,
investigative reporter.
but for
Investigating.
themselves. But they're not really reporting.
They're just thus they're intrigued or I don't know. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
they're
a big ass word out there for it. I know it is.
It's on the tip of my head too. I'm just like, it's like they're invested. I think that's the best way to say it. They're invested in finding out something in it. They're searching. That's the in layman's term. They're searching, and these motherfuckers is finding. But this is like just okay. Speaking of that, people that search on the internet and find shit. Do you see the shit with 1090 Jake?
I didn't see that.
You know 1090 Jake, right? The white Bobby Hill, 1090 Bobby Hill.
1090 Bobby Hill.
Well, that's what milk. A lot
I
of
know
people
who
call
Bobby Hill is.
him. And 1090 Jake. If you look at him, he looks.
I
Just
know
like,
Bobby Hill from King of the Hill,
Yeah,
like
and
the son.
1090 Jake. Like if you could bring up a picture of 1090 Jake, and just so people can see what I'm talking about, like 1090 Bobby Hill. And before we go any further, just to get it ready. So he like recently, like his whole thing is exposing people on the internet. That's his whole get down is not even like in a bad way. It's like I'll get people that snitch, told, just crimes in general. It ain't even about people that snitched. He's just exposing hip hop investigative reporting. What we was just saying, like he puts it out there. He's just a hip hop reporter, even though he's not an artist. He's like a gang, I guess, blood dude from Florida. And so you see him, see the 1090 Jake picture. I was like, see if you can click.
He looked like Bobby Hill. I can see that.
You click that first one that says 1090 Jake Part 4. I don't know if it'll just so you can. D, tell me that don't look like Bobby Hill. That's 1090 Bobby Hill, from King of the Hill. It looked just like him. He just thugged out. He just like went to prison. So, huh? Yeah. Dad. He had the little scrunchie. So that dude, his whole thing is on YouTube, talking, exposing people, exposing paperwork, people that told, people that were involved in crimes, people that really is about people that got caught up in how they went to jail. And then if they told, just happens to come out. But
That's what he does?
Yeah, he just sits on YouTube and he reads he's like another hood politics, Warren Cali.
But he show his face.
He sits there, but he'll show his face, and then he just goes to the paperwork, the footage, it's all facts that he's talking.
Yeah, but these
and
other channels that
they
we're
hide
talking about
and,
right
and
now,
swamp
they not-
stories.
yeah.
You don't,
Yeah.
and I like those channels, but you don't see them. They don't put he sits there in front of the camera in his room. He didn't came up. He became one of the top YouTubers. Bought a big chain.
Because I think somebody would get upset out there, like why
Yeah, I
you
guess
putting
he-
all my business out
and
there
then
like
but
that?
he's originally from Boston, but he moved to Miami and I guess became a blood in prison.
in Miami.
Yeah. So a lot of people out here, certain like he get into it with Milk because it's just certain people out here he got certain issues with, but it's the whole paperwork shit. So it came out, I guess he had certain issues where he was talking in certain instances, and it just came out when he was in jail and he went to, I guess, made a grievance to the warden, pretty much telling like he got hit and beat up by another prisoner and was kind of scared or something. So it was just now it's everybody's got on him because he's like supposedly like the street dude or ex-street dude or whatever he's supposed to be. But again, I feel like you could be other people and make hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube being a gang member telling on people or exposing people's paperwork, and other people do that and they lose their channels or they got consequences. You know what I mean? So now his is just he got exposed of the. He's like, okay, it's like it ain't like he told on some major case that people know about, but it's like that's your whole thing is exposing other people, and it's like maybe that's why he got into it.
Yeah, I'm not really down with none of that.
Mm-hmm. It's like let's just do paperwork parties for my whole YouTube. It's not in it, but it is like it's already stuff that's out there, and it's cases of people that went to jail, went to prison, people that got shot, people that got killed. The person that got caught for killing them, it might have been a rapper that got killed, and he just goes into the interrogation, all that. And a lot of times, certain people bring up like, "Damn,
Yeah,
dude."
but at that point, it's like don't nobody want to do nothing around you no more.
And that's what certain like Milk brought that up before and was like, "Bro, how do you get that paperwork though? I know certain stuff is public, but he was getting certain stuff about like confidential shit." And he was like, "That's kind of like people ain't asking that question of how are you getting this info that no one else seems to be able to like kind of come up on that shouldn't be public." And that now is kind of makes sense of like answers of we see why, but it's
so you think that's another plant?
it could be. I feel like now just looking at the way stuff going, I feel like the Adam 22 whatever that he a plant, he a little weirdo. Like it just.
I feel like, bro, in every aspect of entertainment, yeah, you could have like industry plants like that.
It ain't gotta just be rap or
I was watching 60 Days In.
plants.
It's a show about plants.
Like literally, shout out to Plant Plug. Yeah.
Bro, and they had the reunion where everybody was in there talking shit to each other like, oh, you didn't even make it past
was
the
a
5
bitch.
days. Yeah, they was going in.
Nigga, that's insane. That's crazy. Like, who's the better snitch?
Exactly. And then one dude was like, oh, I didn't see no drugs in there. And then they played the video back of him like looking
Seeing
over to the
drugs.
side, seeing niggas
Seeing
hitting shit.
drugs.
Yeah.
I
She was like, well, we saw you. He was like, you can't tell me what I saw.
Oh my God. I excelled in telling. Like, so nigga came in the back like Hollywood Shuffle. I'll do it. The nigga Bird from the Midnight Falcons.
He tried to talk Robert Townsend out of that role.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I love that movie. That's I think I watched it about like 3 weeks ago.
I just
randomly.
watched it like I think 2 weeks ago.
So, sometimes it'll just start playing in my algorithm. Like I think that's the last time I was just listening to music, smoking, and it just a song ended and that just played, and I just let it play. It was just like it's still funny as hell. That's the first movie I remember seeing at a movie theater with my mom and shit. Like
YouTube's been coming up a lot lately with all of their free movies that they've
yeah,
put. You know,
definitely,
and it's the legit movies.
definitely. Like Yatra. Oh, all right, good to see you. Yeah, they did a drive-by drop-in. Good to see you, bro. So, but yeah, like the YouTube, all of them, Tubi, they got shit that was like on HBO Max like a month ago on Tubi and Pluto and shit. Now I'm like, damn, I guess feel like movies is time going so fast. People and you can just so many
They getting a
avenues.
license in the shit, and that's what's happening too. It's
And
like
it's the revenue or the ad revenue really where they making their bread.
you know, I think during our generation coming up, the biggest outlets were the cable networks and the broadcast TV. But now that everything is switched over to streaming services, it's like you get a Hulu package, right? And you can get your live channels. So they still have the ads there, but it's like Hulu controlling all the ads that's coming out.
You ain't seeing the same commercials that's on TV. Maybe one or two that got ads on TV, but it's totally different stuff. So.
Right, but like streaming services like that, and then YouTube, you know, it's one of the biggest platforms when it comes to people, you know, spending their time on it looking for content.
Mm-hmm.
So
no matter what it is,
that's why if you ain't paid for like a YouTube subscription or something like that, they gonna flood you with ads all day.
All day, especially for certain movies. Like I'd rather just look at like on the free site for certain movies, but certain movies you try to watch on YouTube and it's like an ad, literally, like it's like glitching almost, to where you start getting them every like a minute and a half almost, and then it'll play for like.
Man,
5 minutes.
I get long ads sometimes where it be like
a whole
30
movie.
minutes.
I done got an hour 44, like 2 hours 50, and then it, like, bro, that's like rude and just disrespectful. Like that, you think I would just watch? Like I'm watching something like.
But
that's
somebody
insane.
out there paid for that much ad time on YouTube, and they gotta feel that somewhere.
on a 22
So think about
video.
that. Think about that. That's like how these TV networks used to have to do. They had all this ad space, and they had to fill it. That's how they was making money, keeping the lights on in the place, things like that. It's crazy to see how the streaming services have taken over, and you know, they buying each other out. You know, it's like,
I feel like they just sharing the same shit.
but not necessarily,
Some of
because
it.
you got like Paramount Plus, right? Paramount Plus is gonna give you Nickelodeon, all the Viacom shit.
Yeah, all the old shit you kind of came up on,
Right.
and new shit, but yeah.
Everything that is licensed to any of those companies, that's what you're gonna get on Paramount Plus. You got, like I said, Hulu. You can get the ESPN, and Disney
Plus and Disney Plus all together.
and the live TV though of your local channels.
I think I might need that. But is it like local, just regular, or cable, local cable, or just local? Like where I want to get you, I want to watch Raw. I can't watch SmackDown or Raw or nothing without fucking Spectrum. You gotta have, or Peacock. You gotta have Peacock. I think that's the streaming they on.
That's a whole nother streaming service.
That's all.
in
You gotta
itself.
have Peacock just to watch like all of like WWE
Peacock.
stuff. But then who knows why it'll change at this point now that they did the merger.
But they got the whole catalog, so you get all the
merger went
WWE
through
matches.
yesterday with UFC. The shit is like finally where they all under one. UFC was it TKO, UFC and WWE. So and Vince is out fully yesterday. I think this
Or is he?
I believe Monday Raw. This last Monday night
I
Raw.
saw this.
Like yeah, what it is.
He's supposed to be the chairman of TKO.
I think they just maybe using his face, but supposedly Raw was the last. He's out fully. Maybe he is, and he's just out of WWE because they said Raw. This last Raw, Monday Night Raw, was the last Raw that he was involved, that he had any overseeing anything, and because how he kind of came back and forced his way back in after they kind of got him out last year, and then he popped back in like with the mustache, like Tio Grande. It came through the window and shit with the boots and the pistol.
Nigga got a disguise on.
Yeah, like it's not me. Like he came through.
Dyed his hair black.
He came through a different staffing agency. And it's like he came back to the same warehouse.
It's like this nigga had a twin brother the
Yeah,
whole time, and finally,
it's me, Miguel. It's me. Miguel. Help. Miguel.
nigga walking around undercover with the disguise on.
Oh shit. That's fucking Miguel like a motherfucker. So but I heard that's what supposedly that Raw.
Vicente. He not Vince, he Vicente.
Vicente. He Mockman. Hey, what the fuck?
Vicente Guzman.
Gooseman. Not Meekman. Gooseman. Like, what? That nigga's wrong. But yeah, he fucking, that supposedly was the last Raw that he had anything to do with. And now everything's going to be just done by the board.
But
or
it's been
whatever.
so many times where
He
that
was
was
out.
supposed to happen.
And he was out,
And
different
he
scandals.
keep coming back. Over the
Different-
past year and a half,
Shit,
it's
probably 4 or 5 at least.
well, I'm saying since everything's been going on big in the news.
Since he got kicked out.
Yeah. He's been coming back like low key, and things have been happening, you know?
Walking around backstage with his
Yeah,
hands
but
in his pocket.
changes shit like, oh, what y'all finish? Oh, no, we about to fix that right now. All
This
right,
nigga-
nah, you about to do this, and you gonna win.
He walking around backstage nodding at people with his hands in his pocket. That's what he was like. Like pretty much saying, you know, like you'd be fired if I was here. You'd be out of here. Like, why are you here? But I can't say shit to you because I don't want to ruffle feathers. Because I'm really not supposed to be here, but I am because it's my company. It's like, it's so awkward. Like, the fuck, like, why is this dude just doing it?
He looking like I built this shit.
Yeah. I built this city on rock and roll.
Off my granddaddy.
We built this city off rock and roll. Who got the Rock and Roll Express? Like, but
Jimmy Hart.
man,
He did so many intro
I can't believe
songs.
he's still alive. Like, that's not like in a bad way, but just damn, that nigga.
He should still be making intro music though. They need to give him a deal just doing intro music for niggas.
Him and the other dude that would play the piano that did like Ultimate Warriors theme, and I forgot his name with the little glasses. He did like all the great fucking themes. I'll never remember his name because it's just, I don't, but that dude was dope. So,
Shout out to him.
yeah. So, we gonna get into Danny Masterson, the 70s show dude.
Oh yeah, man.
I wanted to wait. I had to wait to get deep into the show.
I saw
Pause, but to like later in, so the algorithm. But he's gone. He's out of here. What is it? I forgot what the actual counts were, but I'm sure it was like some assault type shit. And
But it was two of them, right?
yeah, I think was it two or more?
It was two of them. I believe.
And so it turns out like some cult sex shit. That's what they're talking about. Scientology. And well, again, it's always tied to some weirdo shit or whatever. I don't know. I remember just to spin off of just before we get fully into to that, but I remember as a teenager I would wait for the bus coming from school. I was like in high school in Hollywood, and it was this big building across the street. And once I realized what it was a Scientology. Like, I don't think it was their main headquarters, but it might. I think it's one of their.
Why
Like,
you say headquarters like they the fucking
like they
villain
in
of the
there.
week or something?
Yeah, like they Cobra. they got chairs and it's all. They're like walking through. There's like people arbitrarily turning knobs in the background.
Oh, wow.
You ever that? Like they always be like, you know, James Bond. There's like a wall of knobs
Yeah.
and dudes and like Austin Powers. He said, Dr. Evil, I see you back there, Mr. Arbitrarily Turning Knobs. He said that shit. I always remember that. Because it's true. They would always just be in the back with a clipboard looking at meters and knobs. Yeah. So, but I don't know, just I remember just being across the street and always looking. And so me and the homegirl were waiting for the bus after school one day. We like, fuck it, let's go in. And they had like a tour. And went in, and it was like walking around, and they're like, this is the, and they're like, they seemed a little kooky themselves, like a little out of it. And it was just like, they were just talking about how he like traveled the world and came up with this philosophy or whatever he came up with. And I remember like what I really took from it at the end was like, he was like probably a strange person because all the places he went to, he never could like settle. He had like chased or had to leave. Yeah, he either got chased out of these places, L. Ron Hubbard. He either got chased out of these places or literally like just had to hurry up and leave after maybe 2 years or 3 or 8 years. But he was all over the world because he was trying to push Scientology to the natives, the islanders, wherever he was at.
Celebrities to buy
And that's
into it
after
shit?
so long when he came back in like I believe it was I forgot. I don't want to misquote anything, but
It was like the 70s,
I want to
really,
say
right? When
because
he
it
started?
started. I want to say that shit was like the 30s or so, or not the but maybe
He
like
wasn't that old.
he was old. That dude was like he's old. Like I want to say that.
Hold on, man.
Yeah, I'm Google or we can Google. You can Google or I just felt like because the footage they were showing was old, and I remember that shit. Like I don't want to say he was like. Because I'm looking at that. This was like 99 when I saw this.
Damn, he was born in 1911.
Exactly. See? I knew I wasn't
And he
tripping.
died in 86.
Exactly. I knew I wasn't tripping. So, because some of the footage was like black and white, and he talking to like niggas with like bones in their nose type shit. So he would go like islands. He would go like he would go certain places to try to teach them certain shit, and they'd be like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And he would have to like flee or just leave once he realized it wasn't taken and he couldn't survive there or nobody was, So that's as a teenager learning about that dude. Just that little tour I took, I didn't think he was some great person. I just got that he was kind of on some weird shit and nobody wanted him in their places. Like, and then he ended up coming back here. like in the 40s or whatever, or 50s, and getting all these Hollywood elites back then on his side and just starting they get down. So, and like it's like proving they've been doing weird shit forever. Like even with when Katie Holmes divorced Tom Cruise, and then it was like TMZ had like we were like following her, people know that they're being followed by TMZ though, you know what I mean, like somewhat, and they were like there were these 2 black trucks like following her, and we thought it was other paparazzis, and they're like we checked with like called TMZ, and they were like you the only people like out there that we got following her or whoever, but there's no one else from here, and there was no other outlets kind of at that point. So they were like, they thought it was weird. Everywhere they were like, she'd go in a hotel, wherever she go, these 2 black Suburbans. So they said they called the cops and was like, gave them the license, and the trucks like took off. Like they had scanners or something and probably heard the call and whatever. So they said after that, they just left and they stopped following her. But she was like being followed most likely by Scientology people or something strange. So she didn't say nothing.
Something strange.
So like something strange. That sounds like another rip off of Stranger Things. It come on like Pluto.
Wait, it does?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, I thought it was really like a show like that. Damn.
So that shit, that in itself was very like, they got a lot of weird shit that go on, and they whole get down. And back to Danny Masterson. That's why I just went off.
He was a Scientologist.
Yeah. And that's what they're saying. It was like some sex cult shit inside of that. And they've already reached out and signed them. They haven't said anything or whatever. They're like, we cool. Like, but that's part of it. And then all the stuff's coming out with Ashton Kutcher and that he was involved in shit with there because I was like his mentor. He called him his mentor. And it's a lot of, it's a lot of weird shit that just seems to go on, period, in Hollywood. But now and then I was just watching a video about that with Ashton and didn't know, like, so they were talking, well, it was like an interview with him and Mila Kunis, and she's talking about, like, when they had to do a scene for the show and where they had to kiss, and this nigga was, like, 19 and she's, like, 14. And I'm like, and I'm like, in Hollywood, you already know this nigga probably lying about his age. This nigga was probably, like, 22, 23. You know what I mean? Like at least like 22, talk about he was 19 just so he can get on the show or get farther in Hollywood. And she was probably like 14. She probably really was 14. But the fact of like, either way, like, and then it's an interview with them talking about this. And then she's like, oh yeah, and then Danny's like texting or telling him like, yeah, I dare you, I'll give you $20 or something I'll bet you 20 or 200 or whatever if you stick your tongue in her mouth. Like he's telling him, like you telling a dude to do that to a young like girl, that's weirdo shit. So he's been on, but they were saying it like laughing, but people are now like looking at it like, well, they're actually together now. So was it grooming back then? Like that's real grooming because people throw that word around a lot, and people be like, well, if somebody's dating someone, now I don't think somebody knew somebody
on the TV set, man. That shit crazy because you around. That's all you around.
Yeah,
you're filming all the time. You with them people all the time.
For like 10 years straight,
and that's really, it's how they probably bonded, just being there every day together. And you see shit like that, and it's like, I don't know. I don't like to bring this shit up a lot, but like R. Kelly and Aaliyah, shit like that, to me, that was like a grooming situation.
Yeah, definitely.
But in this type of, it's like, you really got to think about it. I'm pretty sure Ashton Kutcher didn't ask for that shit to be written into the script. That's not like something
Yeah, who knows?
You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't the writer of the show.
We would think
he was an actor on the show.
We would think no one would just be like, yeah, let me write that in. I want to, unless you're Steven Seagal. And because Steven Seagal is an absolute monster.
Shout out to Space Ice.
Man, I just watched, he just did one yesterday or 2 days ago, Half Past Dead. That's so fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, it's hilarious. But either way, it's creeps, again, another creep. Steven Seagal in Hollywood that would do that shit and get away with it, and that's why he ain't here no more, and he playing around in Russia like he's something about Dalai Lama or some shit. But it's like this is accepted in Hollywood and normal to some people, And it's weird that they like got this going around and this dude. Oh, because I didn't even know this was a case. That's the thing. I know all about YNW Melly. I know, like, we know about fucking if somebody don't
well,
like.
you know, this is why. Look at the feeds that you follow, right? And look at the type of news that they portray and the type of shit that they feed. This is why we're seeing shit like Ice Spice and shit like that. I don't really see too much of that, right? Mm-hmm. Because it may be a few here and there, but it's not taking over my timeline because I don't follow that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You may see it as like a suggested post or something like that, but even still, like, if I'm not clicking on them and liking them, it's like they not gonna show up as often. Or you can even choose to not have it show up as much. Like, I don't want to see anything like this.
But okay, I'm all right, and I fully understand that, and that's true. And I'm just saying, from CNN, Fox News, the shit you see on nightly news, Fox 11. I've seen I didn't even know he was under arrest in court. I didn't know these accusations, but Bill Cosby, and I'm not making excuses, I still think he's a creep, but we know all about Bill Cosby, Kobe, anybody that got these accusations kind of thought. We knew fucking
we
Jonathan.
Knew about Danny Masterson,
Jonathan,
we just found out about him, so it's like.
But Jonathan really Majors, like I'm saying these accusations with nothing proven, and then some of them being dispelled with Jonathan Majors. And then a person like Danny Masterson, who fully did this shit, convicted, he did the shit, got 30 years. But I never heard about this shit till he got sentenced. I didn't even know there was a trial. I didn't know he was under arrest. And it's not like, okay, and that's what I'm saying. I understand that. But
they didn't tell nobody. It's
yeah,
like
it was like a secret trial.
Of the news. Yeah.
But that's too the power that comes with being a Scientologist or whatever, that they kept that shit under wraps that much, to where no one even knew this dude was going through, about to go, his rest of his life is thrown away because he did some weirdo shit. So it's like, damn, like, bro, I think that's more like telling in the whole situation. Like, they were just hoping maybe like it's gonna go away. Yeah, you're gonna beat it. Like, we got this. Like, yeah, don't trip. That means, like, how many times has he done this before and got away with it? Because if you did it twice, and those are the people that came forward, you definitely did that shit a bunch of times. So
a bunch of times.
He's a freak.
Bunches of times.
Bunches of times. He was all.
Bunches of times.
Like, all that number, pimple. So extravagant. His extravagant. I hope that was one of the black dudes doing
These
that.
These niggas is desperate.
Oh shit! I haven't quoted it or even said nothing for like damn near a month since we've been here, and now that shit's like clockwork. It just never left, never left. But just that shit. I just find that strange. But yeah, he's the fuck out of here. He's gone. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. I don't know even the age of the women or what he was, if they were underage, young, whatever. But talking about what's the other dude? Brother Polite. While we on it, just so people don't think, we just talking about like Brother Polite's. Brother Polite is.
Well, yeah, I see like thousands of fake pages of the nigga that's always trying to get me to spend some money.
And he like some woke. He done wrote 90 books.
But I've never seen any of his real shit.
And you can't find none of his books. He done wrote author of over 90 books that you can't find none of. So like, nigga, that's a pamphlet. That's a pamphlet. Dr. Umar.
Dr. Umar.
Mm-hmm. He's part of the Red Pill community. And it's not dissing the whole community.
Okay, so what is that?
That's like the conscious community, like the woke community, the black woke, Mansphere, Cyanetta.
So they took the red pill instead of the blue pill.
Yeah, so these are like these dudes are like the manhood, black power, black empowerment, these. So you got dudes like Cyanetta, Umar, who's supposed to Tariq Nasheed. That's why Umar is not like really in it, because they don't really fuck with him, certain dudes, but he is considered in it. Like, these are the people that kind of always, Brother Polite, General Sarah Seti. Like, it's a lot of these dudes that people look, and these are like major YouTubers. They got like, these aren't, but people aren't the same thing. They're not promoted and talked about in certain shit. So, but they are like the leading people on YouTube that kind of talk about black issues or from a black perspective. And So he was one of the dudes, and I knew the dude was weird because, like I said, I seen him. Some of the stuff was cool. I agreed with that he would say, and then it seemed like he had a certain level of fame, maybe on YouTube and Facebook, back because he's been around for a while. And I seen him go from Facebook, and then I remember he went from all this like painting the R around like the R around his eye, and the just doing like certain stuff, and then he went from that to like taking pictures with the Kardashians. And I remember that was like, soon as I saw that, I just like, I never followed him like on I just stopped like, okay, I'm like, this dude there's nothing. Ain't nothing serious about shit you saying. Nigga, all that other shit you've been talking for the last 10 years is down the drain while you like skinning and grinning with fucking Khloe Kardashian, like cheek to cheek and taking like, it was clearly all out the window. And that was about 3 years ago. And then he just started doing the Rolls Royce diaries, and he bought because he was getting these donations from people. And because these dudes are like kind of pimps. They kind of talk people out of
with the donations.
Yeah, donations, gifts. So they, these niggas literally like donated like hundreds of thousands. And with the money, he buying Rolls Royces and Fendi and Gucci and Prada. And he flexing. He went from like this street prophet dude, like telling you, disputing, having debates with black Israelites, Jehovah's Witnesses, regular church people, to like you sitting in Rolls Royces with $2,500 frames, popping the shit, like talking about niggas, I got heavy metal on me, talking about his credit cards and shit. Like, so, and that was right after all the Kardashians shit. So he got caught.
The one that got robbed on that video?
No, he was another. No, he was just some like scamming Brooklyn nigga. That was just some scamming ass Brooklyn nigga. Brother Whitehead or something like that.
Brother Whitehead.
Mm-hmm. White, something like that. Pastor White, something like that. But so Polite just got caught up in some touching and doing some shit with underage girl. Same shit. Took her to a club at like 2 a.m, like after hours. Then took her to a room, and then the mom, I guess he was dating the mom and doing some weird, and then the mom was calling him, and I guess in the trial it came out like she called him over like 50 times, and he didn't answer the phone, so he was doing some creep shit, and that came out, he been lying, talking about, it's all bullshit, got convicted, found guilty, they doing it, and then before the sentence, he's sitting on YouTube. He did another, all charges dropped and all this, like, still lying on YouTube after, and now this nigga's in a jail cell, but somebody else is clearly running his shit. But it just goes to show it's the whole, once you get to that level, they think that shit is normal. Like, because they done been so warped, and they probably done been so ran through and wore out that shit is normal to, they done been blown
ran
out.
Through and worn out.
Manipulated, mounted, and mauled. I lay on my side. I lay on my back. I lay on my stomach. They ain't got whack on camera. So, just like a lot of it is like these dudes are. It's exposing how it is not just people think it's weird white Hollywood. No, it's these rap dudes. It's these other elitists, how Diddy's been getting exposed more and more. Now people are just blatantly saying Diddy has gay parties. Like, that shit's a normal thing now. It's not even like alleged. There's like other celebrities coming out like, I don't go to his parties no more because them shits is gay. So it's like, with all of this stuff coming out, and you see why these dudes probably get to this level and think, I'm a fuck with a kid or fuck with an underage girl, boy, do some weird shit and think this is going to be accepted, and then just get caught up, fuck it, lose everything, and then just disappear. So I don't know. That's just, but it's like all these dudes is just, it seems like that's just, it's just more coming to the light. But again, how I knew about Brother Polite shit, but I didn't know about Danny Masters. I watched the 70 show. Like, I know this nigga from a bunch. He was on Roseanne back in the day. This nigga has a resume. So it ain't like he's some unknown dude. His face is recognizable. His hair was recognizable. You knew him. He had the black dad. Tim Reed was his dad on the show. So, like, it's just for them to try to play that, like, so under the rug was like some bullshit. That it's like some Hollywood shit. But I don't know. And then even like with, I don't know, the last topic before we get out of here was, you see the shit with Tyrese and DJ Envy? So, like, Tyrese went on the show, on the Breakfast Club, and it was just a lot of like. It was a lot of like, I guess Envy had some words for him because he had been texting his wife. Tyrese had been texting Envy's wife.
Okay.
And then so Envy's wife even called in on the show. And hold on, my live stopped. So Envy's wife even called in on the show and was like saying, well, yeah, you know, we were texting, and she said there was even times where we were texting and when you were in bed next to me. And so it's like, why would you be texting Tyrese at like 11 at night? And y'all, they ain't lifelong friends. It ain't like all three y'all families know each other. You married. And I felt like that's kind of weird. Any chick that's kind of like...
It's like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah, like if you got a dude or you married especially, and why are you texting another nigga after like 8 p.m.? You shouldn't really be... That's kind of weird. After like 10 o'clock, sounds like you in bed. Like, just put your phone on the, like somewhere.
Like is the nigga hitting you at 11 talking about what you doing?
And that's
you know
what
I'm saying?
And then it's, where you at though? Where you at though? What you got on? Like, what you got on? I mean, you ain't got no panties, huh? Like he up there spitting game or something, but it didn't make sense. Of like, I don't know. It didn't make sense of why he's talking. Why was your girl talking to this dude in bed in the middle of the night? Like, that's weird. And then he's like, well, I blocked him. He blocked her, or from talking to him on the group chat and some other shit. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's strange, but it's like, I don't know. It just seems like it's more, why was he so comfortable to text your girl at 11 and talking and chop it up with her now? He was sending her pictures of his new Rolls Royce.
You want to question Tyrese now?
Not even. He was doing kind of maybe what he felt comfortable doing. It was like, and I felt like Envy's wife, just the same person, was like, she kind of exposed him of, oh, I didn't have orgasms for 10 years. She kind of did the Jada. She's like a lightweight Jada Pinkett with Will to Envy. Kind of like low key, like similar.
Now Larissa Pippen.
I don't know, because she been left a nigga though. I feel like she's just embarrassing him with the name because she still got his name. But it's like, you gonna be a hoe. She's a hoe on her own. He's not like, you're my wife, but you keep sleeping with other people. Like, these chicks, like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird, the Hollywood shit, the pass around.
The pass around.
So, like,
the handoff.
The reach around. Like,
reach around and wrench it off.
Reach around and wrench it off. So, I find that strange, though, with, like that. But even him, like, and Tyrese was like, well, I was heavily medicated then. He was taking psych meds, and that's why he was going through, like, something, and that's why he was kind of messed up. And I mean, it makes sense, but it's like whatever. But he was like, he said he even went through the messages, and it kind of shows her messaging him like she's the blue, and you know, with the iPhone, you can see her, and it was just kind of like she was hitting him back and then responding, and she was like, oh, I felt sometimes he was kind of not aggressive but forceful of, hey, like I want your time, like you're gonna talk to me. She said that, like, I felt like he was forceful of, like, give me your time type shit. So I'm like, well, why would he be that forceful? If that's Tyrese, I'm like, why this nigga from Transformers and Baby Boy? And I'm sure she feeling that.
Jody?
I'm sure she feeling it like, man, hell no. Like, I'll accept a collect call from man, hell no. That's like the funniest part. But
this nigga gonna have the audacity to come to my motherfucking house.
My shit, like, but again, it's Hollywood, so who knows what was happening, what they did, why he's texting her, sending her pictures of his Rolls Royce. Yeah, I ain't seen them TikToks. The Bentley.
He probably messaged her after, like, you want to come break it in with me?
Yeah, he was sending her pictures of, like, I think he sent her pictures of the Rolls Royce and, like, either the house or the clothes or something, just like come like pull up type shit.
And that's wild, you know. There's niggas out there.
But maybe you know, maybe Envy got women.
Got envious?
Envious got envier. He got envier. Is that a word? Envier? I'm envier than you. But maybe Envy got his own thing going on and was stepping out, and niggas know and she know, and she step out to do her thing, and then Envy just got jealous because it's the nigga from Transformers. It's Jody. Like she laying in bed texting this nigga next to you at like 12 at night. So I was like, yeah, this nigga
Tyrese be
Jody.
in there singing to him. Nigga.
Sweet lady.
That's what I'm saying.
Singing Coca-Cola ads to her and shit. Like,
When he was on the bus.
nigga hitting her with 5-part harmonies. 5-part harmony. he hitting her with the long strokes and 5-part harmonies. Like making you envious, nigga. So I just felt like that just came out and it just seemed very strange of like that whole. But he was even like not even a. But the weird part is Envy trying to act tough with him on the show. Like, why would you even have him on then? Like, you just wanted to get ratings and views off this. You could have had this conversation. You blocked him. Why would you block somebody and still have them on your show? I mean, maybe you have no say so on who you have on your show.
I'll have him on the show to air it out.
And then he said, but then what he says, at one point, I wanted to box your mouth. I don't even know
That's
why
what Envy said?
Envy told Tyrese that on the show.
I wanted to box.
I wanted to box your mouth. Like, one pause. I don't even know why it would be, but it just sounds plausible. Hey, yo, pause. This nigga said, yo, first of all, I wanted to box your mouth. Like, don't try to tough talk me.
Wild.
No, that's what's going viral. People talk about box your mouth. And then people are trying to get on Tyrese because he didn't, I guess, tough talking back or stand up for himself. But he was like, it's later on, when he was like, he was like, I just kind of was like, what did I know we talk and that's the homie, but I never came at her on no sexual shit and this and that or whatever. So, but I want to box your mouth is crazy. Like, I ain't never heard nobody say.
That shit, why,
I ain't never heard nobody tough talk with.
box your mouth.
I wanted to.
Like the thought of wanting to.
Oh my God! Just like speaking of boxing, whatever with Charleston White and Suede. Like we just go. I want to keep going just for a little. Just so we gonna get out of here soon. But that was crazy. The Charleston White shit didn't happen, and I had my feelings of it. I didn't speak on it before. I was waiting till after. But everything I kind of said kind of came to light of like. I felt dude was kind of going a little too hard. Suede trying to get that, like, look type shit, and it just went sideways. And at the end of it, he got the look off of you, and he's still going. And now niggas like you, that nigga that got your head busted, like you the first nigga that drew blood that Charleston White drew blood on in public. That's like fucked up. It is, but it's like it's of his own doing. I feel it's like you was trying to do too much. We all do it, but sometimes you got to know when it's like, all right, this ain't working for a reason, so fuck it. I got to regroup and come back and redo it. So, and then just the shit with him and TK Kirkland, and seeing that, like that's what I really wanted to get on. I've been wanting to get on that for a couple of weeks, and so he said about like he was getting ripped off, or he was doing these shows, he sold out shows that were really selling out because of him. And people were
of Charleston.
Yeah, people were even telling him like,
but
we want to see you. But TK Kirkland is the man.
Hold on. Time out. We talking about TK Kirkland like the religious dude, right? Like,
no, the comedian.
Okay.
You thinking
who am I thinking about?
Kirk Franklin.
No. That's
TK
somebody else. TD Jakes.
TD Jakes. That's who you doing over here. This nigga here. TD Kirkland.
I'm like, this is Charleston White did some shit with
TD Kirkland. So these dudes, like TK Kirkland took him on tour, or they did a tour with Live Nation, and it was based around Charleston White kind of and TD Jakes and him not being a comedian. That's why, TD Jakes, you got me saying shit now. Fucking TK Kirkland and Charleston White. This nigga, like, bro. So after this is cold. So after they took him on tour and they did all this shit, and they started paying him. Everybody else would get paid in hand, but they were like mailing him his checks. Like they would mail the money to him, and he was like, everybody getting money out the door. See, this nigga getting like 90%. TK Kirkland getting like 90% of the door, but there's people even saying they came to see me, and it was like selling out. And it's not saying TK Kirkland can't sell out a show or it won't or have full, but it's a tour with Charleston White. Most likely, most people ain't like touring to see just TK Kirkland. You know what I mean? Like, not saying nobody wants to, but That's just how I see it. He's a cool dude, but Charleston White's just a hot topic right now. So if people like him, if they hate him, love him, whatever, people want to see him. So he said they were giving him like 700 while everybody else was getting like a lot. They told him they were going to give him more. He wasn't getting, Live Nation was kind of working him. So he got on, and it just seems like what I took from it, because people were like, oh, well, TK's like, he didn't do that. But I felt, honestly, what I peeped in a lot of in the comedy game, it is always those people that will rip you off as a show that makes money at the door, makes money on the bar, makes money on food, and then try to like act like long as you don't say nothing or ask, we ain't giving you nothing. But it's like, bro, like it shouldn't, if you like, unless it was talked about like, hey, like, oh, I'm gonna give you this, or hey, can you give me something? That's different. But when it's just like, nigga, okay, you count money and you paying other people in front of people, and I've seen it. I've been part of shows like that. I've been a nigga getting paid and other people didn't get paid, and I've been a nigga not getting paid and other people getting paid. And like certain times I felt like, damn, I should have got paid, or like I got people here a bunch of times. I got the most people here. I got like the audience is mostly my homies and the comedian that I bought to the other comedian that got booked that I bought. These are all he bought like about 12 people. So like really the show is the audience is mostly all our shit. It's like 20 something people that are our people and maybe 4 other people that just got tickets. So not like we deserve everything, but if that's discussed of you bring more than 4 or 5 guests, you get a portion of what the tickets are or what they sold or how many tickets you sold. And then something you get a drink ticket and there's a lot of that shit going on. So it was just kind of like, I believe Charleston White in that aspect of comedians have that, especially older on comedians that are like, I'm getting this money, I ain't sharing shit with you. And you don't have to, but don't bring a person in, because I went through that with shit when I was hosting in Hollywood. And then people were telling the promoters don't pay me or it's cool, like he gonna do it for free type shit. And I'm like, nigga, like I'm driving here from Hawthorne I'm spending gas to get to fucking Sunset and Gower, nigga. Like
I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I know.
So I just see, like I understood in that aspect of what Charleston White was talking about when he was like, fuck them and I'm not doing this tour and getting ripped off. I see what he means, and I've gone through that, and a lot of comedians go through that on these shows where people just are there's a difference. Hey, we're all struggling comics. We trying to come up together by ourselves, whatever. But I want you on the show. I might have to get you $20, $25, fucking whatever, $10, $15 and a free drink or food or something, whatever. It's something is better than nothing. But when you see motherfuckers getting something off of your work, and they're acting like, oh, like just. That kind of like, and I see that's why he kind of quit the tour. So, and then the shit happened with Scroncho and TK, and Scroncho supposedly busted his head and knuckled him up and squabbled him down and rumbled him left, right, and just stomped him out. You got to use all the hood and like I forgot the word, eucalyptus.
Got packed out with all the chunkums.
Rat packed and squabbled up, squabbled down. He chunkum. He got chunkum. He had his chin chipped. Took off on.
He served.
He got served. Like he got broke off something proper. That was like the one in the '90s. Like break the thing off something proper. Like so I was like he got fucked up, but again, they said he was trying to get at Scroncho's daughter, some weird shit, Hollywood shit again. But she's like of age, I believe she's like 19, 20, but it's still weird as fuck because she's been knowing him forever. So since she was like a young kid, so he was just, I don't know, it's Hollywood shit, weird shit. So just all that shit kind of all coincides, but we're going to get out of here, close it up. I'm Tony Grams. Follow me on IG at Tony Grams, TONY_GRAMS. I'll be at Pimps and Kinfolks tonight. It's going up. Shout out Sling Johnson. We'll be up in there turning up, and it's cool. Shit. What else? Shout out to Cam. It's good.
Oh, me. I'm Cool Ass Cam. Y'all can follow me at COOLAZZCAM. Tap in with our website at www.theinnovativeculture.com. Follow us on Instagram at innovative.culture and innovative.comedy. and subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/innovativeculture. We out of here.
Hey, innovative comedy.
Innovative.